comments. Rab members, then.
I have a comment,
Okay.
please.
Ms. Hardy, please come to the microphone.
And would you do this for me again? Thank you very much.
Okay. My name is Carol Harvey. Do I have to say this again? Yes. Okay. I'm a reporter. I live in the marina. I'm very concerned about my neighbors on Treasure Island, many of whom I know. Andrea is correct. I've spoken to many residents on the island who are ill of various diseases, cancers, tumors, adult onset diabetes, things that are absolutely related to radiation and chemicals. I know many of these people. I am doing my own epidemiological study because nobody else is doing one. It concerns me greatly when I stand here and I tell you about a woman who has idiopathic, I can't remember this, ITP, thrombocytopenic purpura, which is an anemic disease which is very often caused by exposure to radiation. And she tells me how she has to take medication that costs her $5,000 a month for this, and that the noise and the pounding is bothering her and making her sicker. And you sit there and say, okay, we have to keep doing it. Yes, it starts at 7:30. We have to keep doing it, and we're going to keep on doing exactly what we are doing. I would ask you to take this into consideration, that there are people, she's not the only one, and that this noise and pounding is really affecting her, and other people as well. I have noticed that comments that are made by the public, the Navy, and the city have been responsive to these comments. And so I would ask you to please be responsive to this comment about this particular person and the noise and the pounding. Do what you can, please, to help this person. I have one other quick question, and that is Austin Hall, which is on Site 6, has it ever been part of the radiological academies that were established here on the island in the 50s? Or was it only used for fire training? Austin Hall. That's the question I have.
So Austin Hall is also building 461. It is actually not part of Site 6.
Oh, it isn't? Okay.
It is not actually part of Site 6.
It's close to Site 6, though.
It is adjacent to Site 6.
Okay.
And it was radiologically impacted in the last iteration of the radiological technical memorandum. And so I would just guide you to that document for the specific details of its history, because they're a little more complex for a simple
I've combed those documents. I can't find any reference to Austin Hall as a radiological school, so I'm asking you directly here.
You can also look up building 461.
461, yes.
Right.
Yes, the same building. So was it a radiological school? Was it part of the radiological academies on Treasure Island?
For the detailed description, I would go to the reference.
Can't you give me an answer here now?
I think for a more complete answer,
I don't want a complete
would
answer.
refer you
I'd
to
like
the
a
document.
direct answer from you now.
Again, for a more complete answer,
Do you not know
that would
the
be
answer,
appropriate.
sir?
There's a lot of details about Austin Hall. I would give you to the document because I think that'd be a better understanding, a full understanding of the document.
I've read the document. It doesn't say it was. It doesn't say it was not. So I'm asking you.
So
And
would you-
apparently you're not prepared to answer the question.
Well, certainly, okay, so the document that you read is the HRA supplemental technical?
STM, yes.
Okay, that lists the history of each site that we ran impacted, that
And
lists
I've read
the,
other documents as well on it, everything I can find.
I appreciate that.
I don't know, I don't remember.
That the supplemental technical memorandum lists the history of the building, well, you know, since you've read it, for each one.
Yeah.
If you say it's not in there, this could apply to any building, right? Then that's not part of the history as we know it. And that's not the reason, obviously because it's not there, that's not the reason we ran impacted it. But for again, drawing back to the bottom line is, in the STM, the supplemental tech memo, we did end up brand impacting it.
I'm
Correct.
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Correct, but the details for that, they're a little bit more complex than, one set of standards. So I would say, go back to the document for a more complete answer to your
Did you
question.
say you did impact it or didn't impact it?
It is radiologically impacted.
Correct.
So anything that's radiologically impacted is in that purple area right there.
Yeah, I think that's where the confusion in the question is. You've read the document, so you know it's radiologically impacted, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
And
So the
for general
question is-
training activities, which training activity it was related to, like I said, I would go to the document so you knew which specific training activity it was related
So,
to.
yeah, the question is, did that radiation come from caches of radiation that were perhaps in building 461, like they were in 342, 343, and 344? Do you understand my question?
Okay, so.
No, actually, I don't.
Okay,
understand the question.
342, 343.
340, building 342 is the former school for the radiac training,
Yes.
right? The radiological equipment.
Yes,
Danielle Jen, in fact, what they're doing right now, part of, building 342 is located within the boundaries of Site 24, are mainly known for being a groundwater site, and it's rad impacted. So we're investigating it, right? In fact, Danielle Jan, the project
Right.
manager, okay, has
she
briefed.
gave a presentation.
She did, and they're in the building now. They're surveying building 342, the yard behind building 342, and lot 69.
Right now.
I believe they recently finished it, yeah.
Within the last few months, yes.
Well,
But the
like-
question is, there were these radiological academies, as I understand it, in several different places on the island.
Okay.
So the question is, was Austin Hall, Building 461, part of the Radiac schools? And were there caches of radiation there that may have caused the necessity to impact that area by you now?
So in general, I think the reason we impacted Austin Hall was because of the training that went on. And again, the specific training it was associated with, I refer you to the document because there's different types of training. So, but since there was training that went in the building, that's why we impacted it. It was pretty straightforward.
But,
We're-
that's it.
Actually, okay. Actually, it says that although it was for training, it was fire training.
Yes.
And it was just for storage of radiologically, what does it say? Radiac instruments, which may have had items in them that released.
Correct. And by extension, there may have been, because there are classrooms in the building, they may have used it. So it was by extension, that's why it may have been impacted.
And they also said that there were no reports of leaks. So it's only because of its association with other trainings that it became impacted, not because it actually there has been a release there, but because of its relationship to other buildings.
Correct, but by extension, like you said, there may have been activities in there. And again, I just want to make it clear that the details of that, like I said, are in the document, I think, as Dale pointed out.
There's not much in that document, though.
That's right, there's not much. It's true.
I would say that the hundreds of pages of references do take a lot of time to go through, so I understand it can take some time, but yeah, there's a good amount of references.